everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, welcome back if you are joining me again. So today is my monthly make video. I managed to skip a couple, so what I'm going to do today is show you what I've made this month and also go through my highlights of the last couple of months too. So I've got a few other little bits to show you too. So what I will do is go through what I'm wearing at the moment. As you can see, I'm very pink at the moment. So January started off with lots and lots of colourful makes all across Instagram. Katie of What Katie Sews started a new hashtag called Dress Like a Crayon, which I did not participate in as much as I wanted to. I thought everybody wearing such fun outfits all of January. Essentially the idea of it is that you wear all of one colour. Okay, so tops, bottoms, if you can make your shoes and accessories match even better. And it's just to see kind of what your kind of colour spectrum, I guess, of your wardrobe really is. So I thought today, as a little bit of a throwback, I would try my best to dress like a crayon as well. So I'm all very, very pink today, as you can see. This is actually a ready-to-wear jumper that I got quite a few years ago that I never really wore very much, but I'm actually really loving this season. And I'm wearing my pink Lander pants that I made last year. The Lander pants is one that I wanted to show off as well today. It's a trouser pattern from True Bias. It was never one that I thought would really kind of suit me that well. You see everybody on social media who've made it all tend to be of quite a similar shape, at least in my opinion, or maybe it's just the people I see who make it. Everyone's very kind of quite tall, quite slim, and it always looks amazing, but I very much don't have that figure, you know. I tend to carry a lot of weight around my hips and thighs, and I did wonder as to how well that pattern would kind of suit my body. It's actually not too bad. The first thing I did though, the one thing I did alter with it is that I put in a zip fly, instead of the button fly that comes with it, and I think that helps. So the one thing I really hated about button fly, the exposed button fly that comes with the True Bias ones, I'll insert an image of what it's supposed to look like here, is that it always looks like it's pulling, and no matter how kind of well fitted it is and how skinny you are, because of the nature of buttons and the way that they close, means that if you want it to kind of fit tightly to your body, it's always going to look like it's pulling a bit. So the one way to fix that is to put in a zip instead. I basically transferred over my Closet Case Ginger Jeans fly and just kind of overlaid it and used that as my guide as to how to put in a zip in, and it works pretty well. I used quite a light fabric for this, so this was part of a blogger network mate from Minerva Crafts, so I used this really light baby cord in a gorgeous pink, but it's perhaps a little bit light for this. So I'll show you a full standing photo of me here, but I'm not going to rejig all the camera and stuff so that you can see me full length right now. But it's a more versatile pattern than I thought it would be. I would really like to try making it in a denim, and also to put on a curved waistband on it as well, because I think that would help to make it fit a bit better. But I love a wide-legged culotte length trouser at the moment, so I mean in terms of style it definitely ticks all the boxes there. Alright, so on to what I wanted to show you from what I've made this month. I actually didn't make that much in January. I've just been really busy trying to organise this place. As you can see, nothing has changed since the last video, and it's just been a lot of, like, you know, sitting around waiting for engineers and sorting out bathrooms and, like, you know, putting up curtains and things like that. My sewing room is like 80% there. I need a few more shelves to hold more fabric because I still have a stash of fabric that isn't here yet. It's still in storage, and I need to get a wider sewing table, for my machines, that is. I've got a great cutting table. If anyone needs a recommendation, I've got a Horn sewing table. They're like specific craft tables. No idea how much they cost. I nicked mine from my mum. I'm pretty sure she has no idea that I've taken it from home, but as long as she doesn't miss it, right? So the first thing that I'm going to show you is a nice easy one here. This is a t-shirt I made using a Stop and Still pattern and jersey. I really love this fabric. The print is just amazing. So cute. Always seems to get lots of compliments on it. I think it's just one of those prints that really catches your eye. It's a really simple t-shirt pattern, and I think it's probably one that I will go back to time and time again, just for ease of use. This t-shirt I cut out of a meter of fabric and had leftovers, basically. So it's something that's actually quite an economical pattern to use because it has grown on sleeves. So there's no seam here. It's just like all, you know, literally cutting out a t-shirt shape and sewing the two pieces together, you know. But because there's no separate sleeve, you tend to find that uses less fabric. Okay, it's just quite a nice, easy style. I've used a contrast neckband here just to kind of change things up. This is actually meant to have had a mock turtleneck on it, but I managed to lose the pattern piece, so I redrafted myself another one and just but made it as a neckband instead, because I wanted it to be more of a t-shirt rather than something that's a bit more constricting up at the neck. But really cute, really easy to fit. Oh, it's not fitted, so not really much to fit at all. All the hems just turned over, overlocked, and I zigzagged over the top. I've yet to find a way to use a twin needle without it causing any tunneling, so at the moment I'm just opting not to use it at all. Just I hate that little bump that gets created when you use it. The next thing I wanted to show you guys is this, which is the Tshirt. I'm gonna pretend that I'm saying that correctly. The Tshirt shirt dress from Named Clothing. They're breaking the pattern. And this is a shirt dress. I hope you can see it. I'll try to put up again, pop a full-length photo on here for you guys to see as well, but it's far too cold to be changing clothes this much. This is a really cute little dress actually. I really liked how this turned out. I've used an Atelier Brunette viscose crepe. Yes, I want to say it's a viscose crepe in, I think they call it storm blue, storm grey. Storm blue, I want to say. So this dress is actually very similar to the Grey Line Studio older shirt dress, so if you have that you'd probably be quite familiar with the style. So it's got gathers all the way around the bum and it stops here. So it's a princess seam on the front. Hopefully you can see that. There's a princess seam all the way down the front here. So the gathers go all the way around to the princess seam, and you have the option with this dress to put in a vent in the shoulder. So this again uses the princess seam and just keeps it open all the way to the top until where it meets with the shoulder seam. It also has a little ruffle in the collar, which I think is quite cute. So if I do this up and you can have a little look. At how that would sit. So it's got a little ruffly thing here. So it seems like a kind of basic shirt dress with those extra little touches that make it a named pattern there. A couple of things I would have changed with this pattern though. Firstly, I didn't alter where the waist sat, and that is something that I normally do with named clothing patterns. I just, for whatever reason, didn't do it this time around. So I do think that it's a bit long in the body, so where the gathers sit, I wish that I had just kind of brought it up just a tad. Just bear in mind I'm only 5'2", so, and I've got quite a short torso, and really that should have been kind of raised up a little bit. It's not enough to kind of put me off wearing it, but it's just something to note that if you are a bit on the petite side, I would really recommend shortening the bodice height slightly, okay? The other thing I would have done is put in pockets. I don't know why I didn't do it at the time. I really should have. No excuses. It just makes it a little bit more functional. I've kept mine nice and long, down to midi length, which is something that I never really thought I would like, but have decided that I love now, everything in midi length, really. So the next make I want to show you is a skirt that I've made using the London pattern from Selkie. Selkie was started last year via a Kickstarter campaign run by Caroline and Alex. A very successful campaign if anyone was watching it. They did amazingly well. And that was to start their own pattern company and also creating their own prints and eco-friendly fabrics. Their whole ethos is all about sustainability and making your own clothes and doing as much for the environment really as you can do. I went to their launch party last year, had a lovely time, had a goodie bag full of like lots of lovely eco-friendly things, bamboo straws, eco-friendly detergent, lots of that kind of stuff, which I guess you don't really think about in terms of kind of what I do or we do as sewing. Like, I don't always kind of connect that directly with sustainability, although to a certain degree I guess it is, because we're not buying into that whole fast fashion thing. I guess we're a little less disposable with our clothing compared to the general populace. But anyway, enough of that. I'm going to just show you what the skirt looks like. So this is it. It's actually quite a simple box pleated skirt. We've got the 2 box pleats on either side and 2 on the back. I used an invisible zip on the back and it's got an overlapping tab as well to close it. Okay. I used a cotton fabric which was sent to me from Indie Bindi company, who are based in Japan. I believe Amy, who runs it, is Australian but emigrated over there, and she sounds like she's got an amazing relationship with the local designers that she buys from. So pretty much all the prints from her on her shop are, you know, sourced from local designers, people that she knows and has a relationship with, so she gets a lot of backstory from it. So I think she said the designer from this, like, that she got her inspiration for these from going to the beach and the stones that she could see there. And then after she got the inspiration, she went home and like hand painted it before rendering it digitally. I love that you get backstory with those kind of things. You don't normally get that when you're buying fabric, do you? You're right. It's a Japanese cotton. It's a bit light for the weather because it was snowing last night and there's no way that I'm wearing this out right now. I think that I could have probably gotten away with lining it if I wanted to, but for ease of use, I mean, I'm not really a lined skirt kind of person anyway. The other thing I really love about this pattern is it's got a little like notched area around the front. Just makes it deviate a little bit from just an average box skirt there. But yeah, it's a really lovely skirt. It's a really easy pattern to make, so great for beginners if that's what you are looking, if that's kind of where you are in your kind of sewing journey. A great one to start out with, I think, and then even just within the pattern itself, you could start with the skirt and then move on to the dress or the blouse later on if you wanted something that's very slightly more complex there. So definitely worth looking into if that's something you're interested in. What I'm going to do is also just go through a few of my makes from November, December time last year, which I did get round to filming a video of, but something, as I said in my last video, something went wrong with the files, so I'm just gonna scrap that, start again, and I'm showing you some of the things that I made back then. I say back then, a couple months ago, it wasn't that long ago. So, first thing I want to do is show you my cardigan. It's a really great cardigan if anyone's looking for a cardigan pattern. This is again a Stop and Store pattern. So you know the tiger t-shirt that I was showing you earlier? This is all from the same pattern. So it comes with 2 views of the cardigan, this really long length one, and you have the option of making a short one as well. I actually made a short one which I gave to my sister for Christmas. Unfortunately I gave it to her before taking any photos, but it was really cool. It was this grey sequin knit. I don't know if she's ever worn it, but what gifts are for, isn't it? Anyway, so like full length sleeve, it's got quite a drop shoulder, so there's the sleeve seam, shoulder sleeve is here, and it just curves around. I've added in some patch pockets. These do not come with the pattern, but I need pockets everywhere if I can do. This fabric I got from the Textile Centre when I was at the Knitting and Stitching show last year. It's I want to say an acrylic mohair type knits. It's one of those places where you know the fabric's all a bit nondescript, but it has this kind of like zebra-y Aztec-y type print on it, which I think looks fantastic. And you know, it's really warm and snuggly and just ridiculously comfortable. It's a really easy pattern. So that Stop and Store pattern that I've used multiple times now, I think has been really good value because I got it in the sales from Stop and Store. So it was actually only £2 for that pattern, and I already used it 3 times. So far so good. I think very good value for money. So the next thing I'm going to show you is a very special dress that I made for the new Craft House party last December. The theme was all that glitters, so I decided to jump right in and go for and use my most sparkly fabric that I had, which was this sequin fabric right here. It's a gold sequin on a black background. I've lined it as well, so it's got a black lining too, and it's like a double-breasted tuxedo jacket style dress, kind of a little bit 80s, kind of a little bit awesome. So I made this using a hack of the Utu pattern. It's meant to be a pinafore from the named clothing book Breaking the Pattern. So the pinafore, if you saw it in the book, just doesn't have the sleeves, and I think it's a little bit longer lengthwise down here, and otherwise it just has these like double-breasted frontage to it. I had to do a little toile with it first because these pinafores would generally have a little bit of a lower armhole and just a little bit more, it had been a little bit more open on the front. I just didn't want it to be gaping too much. So what I did was to do a toile, take out the excess because on the front I just wanted it to be gaping too much. Just raised the arm up a little bit and added a sleeve on, which is not as complicated as that sounds. It's a really lovely pattern actually, really easy to use. Definitely recommend it. It's definitely one of my favourites from that book. I think I'm going to make one in a tweed at some point, or a plaid, something nice and woolly, which I think would be lovely for winter with some long boots as well. So that was my Christmas party dress. Definitely something that I would love an occasion to wear again, despite the fact that it's a little bit itchy on the inside. So the last thing I want to show you is another party outfit slash secret pajamas, because it really is just that comfortable. So for the last couple of years I've been trying to do this replicating the runway thing on my blog. I basically take an image of the runways from the latest shows. I try to do it seasonally, so in winter I'll do the autumn winter ones, which have been in the previous shows basically, because they always run one season ahead. And I'll take that image and I will try my very best to make something that looks just like it. So far so good. I think that they've been okay. I think my first one was the best one, I'll be honest, and it's been a little bit downhill since. I made this sheer tall skirt thing and it looked pretty cool, but actually was very, very impractical. After that I did decide to choose things that I could wear a bit more. Anyway, this time I chose to replicate this grey jumpsuit that I saw from the Bottega Veneta runways. There's just so much velvet everywhere and it looked beautiful, and I did not have enough of the mustard velvet that I wanted to make the maxi dress, so I decided to go with the jumpsuit instead. So don't get me wrong, the jumpsuit's still very good, by the way. You're not missing out by me not doing the maxi dress. So this is what it ended up being. So it's like, I'll put the image here of the original inspiration. It's got the wide leg, pleated palazzo pants style leg, and a kind of crossover frontage, very low cut, as you can see, and with the bra on show. I decided not to do that. Don't want to blind anyone. So yeah, it's a little bit slightly more covered up. It does need to be worn with something underneath it though. So this is my version. Hopefully you can see that. So again, not going to try this on for you, I'm sorry. I will do more next time, but it's just a bit too chilly to be doing that right now. So this jumpsuit, I used the Nina Lee Portobello trousers to start off with for the bottom. I knew that that's where I wanted to start with because 1, I already had the pattern, 2, I knew it fitted me, and so that was the first start. Now the main problem I had with these is that I had a stretch velvet. The original was not stretch, the pattern is not designed for stretch, so I had to be a little bit creative in how I wanted to kind of put everything together. So with the trouser pattern, I opted just to eliminate any openings and assume that I'm going to be able to get in and out of it just relying on the stretch of the fabric, which worked out pretty well actually. For the top half of this, it also made it really easy to sew, by the way. I was really dreading having to put like a zip into the stretch velvet. So for the top of this, I used my Manessa, the Colette Patterns Manessa, basically as a block. In other words, just as my starting point for it. I had to widen out the bottom of it because the Manessa is obviously very small. It's got the negative ease to compensate for the stretch, and I am trying to make it match two trousers which have positive ease because it's a woven pattern. But I just did that by adding a little bit more to the base. Because with my Manessa, I'd already done a lot of adjustments to it. Actually, the waist is really tiny on it anyway, so it didn't make much of a difference in terms of the shape of the pattern compared to a normal, what you'd expect a normal pattern piece to look like, that is. For the front, I kind of created a piece that crosses over and made a band over the front as well, so that's got like a little lining thing on the front too, and that's just to replicate what that original photo was like. I actually think that worked out really well. Here's a photo of me wearing it. I wore it to my work Christmas do actually. I think it went down a treat. It's ridiculously comfy, as you can imagine. It's all stretchy, it's a giant onesie, it just looks a little bit fancy basically. But I was really happy with how that turned out. It's something that I really love the challenge of doing this, as well as enjoying the results of it. But being able to really take just an image, because you don't get the back, you don't get the sides, you don't get close-ups of these per se. It's about how you can translate that little photo, that one glimpse of it, into something that is going to work in real life, that fits around my body, and still looks like what the image does. So it's always interesting to see how those things turn out. So that's all I've got to show you today. Hopefully there'll be more to show you soon, so check back here. Otherwise, have a nice day. Bye guys.